Hi, today is January the 5th, 2021. This is the 12th day of Christmas. It's also the eve of Epiphany. I've been thinking a lot about that word, Epiphany. Isn't that a good word? Whenever I use the word Epiphany, it always seems to be a positive sense. You know, oh, I've had an epiphany. I suddenly understand, or I have an idea that has brought a solution to this problem, or a sudden inspiration, and it all makes sense now. As I was thinking about today's devotion, I wanted to come up with a good example of an epiphany. And my first career, I guess, is still rolling around in my head when I was a biology teacher, and I thought about Watson and Crick. If you remember your biology, Watson and Crick were the young graduate student scientists who were working to figure out how the molecule DNA, which was being researched and everyone knew was very important, how it was constructed, how is it put together. And they had been looking at evidence, and they knew that certain parts of the molecule had to fit together with certain other parts, but they couldn't figure out how it could do it. They were laying out pieces, I understand from the story, on cardboard cutouts to try to make it work. And then one of them got the idea that if you twisted the molecule into a double helix, like a double spiral, the parts that had to fit together could fit together and be near each other and make these bonds. And you should look it up if you're interested in science. It's very interesting, but it solved the problem. They figured out that this had to be the way that it worked, the way that it fit together. And then, of course, that insight, that epiphany, led to many more insights and much more understanding that we're still learning from today. Which came first, the use of epiphany to describe, a secular sudden insight, or the religious designation of epiphany? So I looked it up, and well, it's kind of both. If you go to the Greek, the word that became epiphany meant a sudden insight, to give light to a situation, to manifest, for something to be made manifest, to be seen, to be known. And so that Greek word got applied to what happened when Jesus was revealed to the wise men. The English word, as we know it, epiphany, it was first used to refer to that religious understanding all the way back to 1300. 1325, it was first seen as reference to the religious observation of the coming of the wise men, which we will, and we do observe officially tomorrow. But I think it's interesting that this really good word did start, as far as the English language is concerned, in the religious sense, in the revealing of Christ to the world. I mean, it's a wonderful story. It's one of the most mysterious and adventurous, beautiful stories. These wise men, which understood the workings of the cosmos and the stars, and they also must have been poring over historical and prophetic documents. They knew that this strange new light in the sky meant something important, and somehow God was able to reveal to their minds and perhaps to their hearts that this was something that they needed to follow to the source. And so they took their understanding of astrology, and they went to the political realm, and then the religious scholars asked the local Hebrew scholars what do your writings say? And they put all this together, all the evidence that needed to fit together. And it brought them to this place where Jesus lay, the newborn king. And my favorite line in the story is Matthew 2:10. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. This was it. This was the answer. This in the flesh is who they've been seeking. The prophets, the cosmos, the hope of Jews and Gentiles, of all humanity, the new leadership for us all is here. In this child, it all came together. The child Jesus, who was right there before them. The purposes of heaven and earth were made known, were made real, were made accessible, incredibly accessible, right there and right here before us. Jesus is real and accessible. So I'll end this consideration of our Epiphany with 2 Peter 1:29. So we have this prophetic message more fully confirmed. You will do well to be attentive to it as a lamp shining in a dark place until the day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts. Epiphany. May we all be overwhelmed with joy. Happy 12th day of Christmas. Have a great day.